So I'm at the park today though. So I decided that I wanted to do something to kind of help myself, but I feel like it'll be something that'll be beneficial to others as well. Um, and just drop what I like to call the range of gems and just helping people receive a different perspective, I guess, of life and just the simple things that are around us because a lot of the time, certain things that cause mental health issues and problems really just be our perspective of life and how we go about things. So I was just doing a little bit of thinking, actually, as I was on the way here, and I was trying to think of just, I always think about sometimes the things I've gone through and like where I'm at now, um, and I just get to really like pondering and reminiscing about things. But what made me think about all that was just the fact that um, I realized throughout my dark times that you have the most light in the dark. Like, nothing about the lights being out should stop you from getting to where you gotta go. Like, if you got somewhere that you gotta go in the middle of the night, it being dark outside, it's not gonna stop a damn thing. You're still gonna push forward to your destination. And so, a lot of the times, I always try to let people know that there's so much more light when you're in a dark place. Like, don't sink into that. Don't let that defeat you. Don't let that become you. Don't let that define who you are. You know what I mean? Like, the stars don't even shine at night unless the sky is dark, you know? So there's so much light and there's so much direction sometimes in the times where you feel like you have no direction, when you feel like you don't see any light. That's literally where the most light is. That's where you can say, you know what? Maybe I don't want to feel like this anymore, or maybe I want to feel like this. Like, think about it. Like, when you are planting a seed somewhere, you don't just get the seed and put the seed on top of the soil and just think that it's just going to do its job. You have to put that seed in the soil. You have to put that seed in that darkness in order for it to sprout. And as things are continuously poured and, or, however you take care of a seed, then it'll begin to grow from there. So it's like, never think because it's a dark time that there's no light. Try to see the light in the darkness. And it may not be easy. It's not easy at all sometimes, but I feel like we really have to get ourselves to a point of trying to understand things from a different perspective in order to make ourselves feel good mentally, because we can't keep having this perspective of life that it's bullshit basically, and that's just based off of how we feel, instead of, you know what, let me try to view something in a different light. Let me try to switch up how I view things, because it's important in order for us to move on in this society. We don't want to have a sour outlook of everything just because of something that we may have went through in the past or something like that. So, like I said, there's so much light and dark. There's so much direction that you can take. A good friend of mine, shout out to Q, he's vision impaired, so he's blind. But he's the first person that I've ever met, I think, that was like blind, that I've actually had a conversation with. But I see him live his life to the fullest. Nothing stops him. Nothing stops him, and he can't see anything. But nothing stops him. He still does everything that he wants to do with his life. He still has fun. He makes the best out of what he has going on with him. And I think sometimes you have to be able to see the light in the darkness. He's literally in darkness, but that doesn't stop him from fulfilling his life. It doesn't. The man can't see anything. And sometimes we walk around with all the vision in the world, the best vision, 20/20 vision or whatever. We got glasses or contacts or whatever. We can see everything, and we'll still choose to see life in such the shittiest ways. So I just want to say that, again, sometimes like things can get really dark. They can get really horrible. They can get really terrifying. They can get really scary. But you really have to begin to see that light in your darkness. You just have to. You have to. Because if you don't, you'll continue to sit in darkness. But again, a lot of things that grow to be bigger and better things had to start in darkness. They had to. You ever realize that most businesses are started in a recession? That's what you can basically consider darkness, if you will. Like, it's small things. We have to just be able to see things from a different perspective, to be able to change our mind, to be able to make ourselves feel better. We can't continue to complain about the things that are happening in the world if we're refusing to see things differently and refusing to get ourselves up and say, you know what, it's not easy, but I have to find that light. So I just wanted to give y'all that little message today. Just something that was on my mind. And yeah, like, let me know over time you had to get up out your darkness, or things that you've done, that you did or whatever, to really pull yourself out of the hard times that you were going through. Let me know.